Now is 2:05, and we are in a special council meeting. The date is 18 September 2024. Greetings to the Madam Mayor, Deputy Executive Mayor, the MACO members, the MPEC chairperson, and all councillors present. We are in item number 1, which is now the opening of the council meeting. Can we please have a prayer, and I'll ask the Deputy Mayor to give us a short prayer.
Let's pray. Our beautiful Lord, who created the heavens and earth, and who also created us as the human beings. We are here today to bow our heads to you and also to appeal to your mercies and grace that you always bestow on us on daily purposes. We therefore ask for your wisdom, dear Lord, so that whatever we're here for the sake of the people that are following us in our communities, we do this in a very gracious manner, and we also add on our wisdom and our lifelong commitments that we did to the people that elected us to be here. We ask you in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you very much, Deputy. We are in item number 2, which is the attendance register, and hopefully that is circulating. We want to sign the attendance register. Item number 3 is applications for leave. There is none from my side. All the councillors are present. Declaration of interest. Any councillor who would like to declare? Councillor Terry Blanche.
Speaker, I just want to know if you received my communication, because you see, just to share some clarity, what normally happens is that I've seen it. Perhaps you missed the site, and then when we squabble, you don't see all the hands all the time. I just need to know if you received the communication that I have some interest on items. That's all. I've sent it to your office yesterday.
No, I haven't received any.
I'm aware of the email sent, but I don't know. I thought you deal with the matter that we're on point 3 now, but that communication was sent to me.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with it in terms of what the councillor is requesting, but I mean, I don't want to respond to that now because we're on point declaration of interest.
Yes.
Unless the councillor, based on his request, is trying to declare interest.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm asking because I've sent it as per the rules of order prior. So I'm just now declaring that I've written the interest, but I want to. I was just asking, have you received it? So this is just my confirmation on my mail under this item.
Okay, councillor.
Still lost.
Councillor Kolobi.
I'm still lost. I want to know the point that is being brought by Councillor Claude. Does he want to be given more time to deliberate in those points, or is he declaring an interest in those points so that we know that he's got an interest? If he has to leave the chamber when we deal about it, it's supposed to be like that. Because I'm just lost. What is it that is he bringing on?
What you can normally do, Councillor Deputy Mayor, in the event of under this point, there's items you have interest on. You can also do it right here under this point, or as per the rules of order, you can notify the speaker prior, either 24 hours or 12 hours in terms of your chief of status. So I'm just asking. So okay, let me do this. I can confirm then, yeah, speaker through you then. I have written a mail. I have just asked for time to speak or say something on the items. Where's it now? Item C1, stroke 51, stroke 09, stroke 24, and stroke C1, stroke 252, 09, 24, and then C1, stroke 248, 09, 24. The reason for that is I've said it. What we do normally, we fight, and then we back and forth, and then the speaker don't always see whose hand was up. See, so that it just be noted that we want to engage there when it comes to those things. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Judge,
What time is he needing?
sorry?
Is he needing more time than the 5 minutes? So is he saying?
No.
No,
Agenda.
it's
Okay.
You are on the agenda.
Finland.
Yeah.
Yeah, please, ma. I'm asking, honestly, what?
We are moving now to item number 5, which is confirmation of minutes for previous meeting. And the administration, please take us through.
With the minutes, minutes under 5.1, the minutes of the special council meeting dated 31st of July 2024, starting on page 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, attendance, 19, 20. And that concludes the minutes of 31st of July.
Thank you very much. The item is 7, councillors. Councillor Ompil,
Speaker, I propose that we take the minutes as read and
you. Minister Kenda. Councillor Olivier.
A second.
Thank you very much.
5.2, minutes of the special council meeting dated 19 August 2024, subsequently adjourned to Monday 26 August 2024, starting on page 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, attendance registers 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 47, 48, 49, and 50. And that concludes the minutes of 19 August, subsequently adjourned 26.
Item 7,
Speaker,
Councillor Tebranch.
in agreement, Speaker, through reflection.
Thank you. Minister Kenda, Deputy Executive Mayor.
Second, Speaker.
Thank you.
5.3, minutes of the special council meeting dated 23 August 2024. Starting at page 51. Just a correction, 30 August 2024, page 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, attendance register 61, 62. That concludes the minutes of 30 August 2024.
Item 7, Councillor High.
Madam Speaker, thank you. Madam Speaker, I just want to remind Councillor Niall that he's also serving in our portfolio. I'll just stay away. Must send an apology when it's not back, please. Thank you.
Out of order.
Are you proposing, Councillor High?
No, ma'am.
Cannot propose, okay. Item 7,
Councillor Nell was in the meeting, so therefore I agree. To go, a true reflection. If we can stand now, it wasn't.
Councillor Manglava, seconded. Thank you. Moving to the next item. To the next set of minutes.
Minutes is done.
Done.
I agreed on my own report.
Please.
We are moving to item 6.
Yes.
We are moving to item number 6, which is statements and communications by the executive mayor and by the speaker. From my side, I have none. Madam Mayor?
None, Speaker.
Thank you very much. Moving to number 7, which is presentations. We have none. Item number 8. Can the administration please take us through?
Starting with section 1, Office of the Municipal Manager, first item is item C/1/247/08/24, proposed amendments, macro and micro organizational structure, Office of Municipal Manager, page 65.
Speaker,
8 items for information which have been dealt with.
Item 8.
Next meeting.
My apologies.
No worries.
Okay, moving to item 9, which is outstanding of council resolutions.
We have
Ordinary council meeting.
Yes, we have item number 8, we have none. Item number 9, none. Then item number 10 is consideration of reports. Can the administration please take us through?
Starting with section 1, Office of the Municipal Manager. C/1/247/08/24.
Sorry, Speaker. You said on item number 9, none. I want us to do things correctly,
Noting of outstanding council resolutions.
please.
Okay.
Said none there.
Do we-
You can repeat again
Has to consider.
so that you,
Noting of outstanding council resolutions. Administration, can you please take us through and see that if we have any outstanding resolutions?
That will be considered at the ordinary council meeting of October, Madam Speaker.
considered in October.
None for this meeting, yeah. Thank you, Councillor Bye-bye.
my pleasure, ma'am.
The item is 7.
Speaker,
Councillor Nell,
Speaker, can I ask for a 5-minute focus, please?
Ukanivumelana ngale way that
focus is granted on bill.
Thank you.
vumelana ngale tashini.
Azange nonibulisa wena. Nami sikezo. Nathi.
We learn from the best.
One language in the chambers, one language.
Deputy Mayor,
I propose the recommendation that let's approve the macro and microstructure of the offices.
Councillor Mangaba,
Thank you, Speaker. And good afternoon, Speaker. Mine is very frank and straightforward. When we took over in February, Alderman Bill Nell made it clear that his fear of us taking over was that we were going to bloat the organogram. And his words were, he does not think this institution even has the financial capacity to withstand that. Now, my worry is we have an item in front of us detailing a change to our org structure. However, there isn't any communication around financial implications where this is concerned. So just to be put abreast, how much are we speaking in terms of finances? Like what would be the financial implications of these positions that are actually created? Then maybe then I can be comfortable going with the recommendations.
Executive Mayor,
How would you see this?
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, I wanted to second the proposal of the Deputy Mayor. Also to highlight from my side, the concerns are noted. However, this is legally prescribed. It's not something that is not prescribed. So we understand about the implications, and maybe we can get the manager to explain to us the process moving forward. But one of the issues I wanted to highlight, now that Councillor Mangaba is touching on the issue, is that when we had the engagement with the staff, we actually did realize that there is a lot of service delivery departments that is actually under a lot of strain. So my plea here today would also be that we do have to, at some point, really look at our org structure, especially our service delivery departments, and seeing how we can actually structure it in a way so that we relieve, especially where the pressures are. So, but with that said, the item in front of us, this one I would support the Deputy Mayor in a proposal.
thank you very much. Can you please take us through the item?
No, thanks, Speaker. I think the question is simple. Item in front of us, review on a minor change in the structure. The process then is to then take the positions that have been approved, that job descriptions, send them for task evaluation, the district, they come back, and then once they come back, then you are actually clear in terms of what task level. So we cannot guess now. So that will be brought to council to say that the task outcome audited by the audit team of the district has come back, and then the item is tabled to say that this is the task outcome. This is the financial implication. This is how we intend to find the position, and by when must we find the position. So that will be the process.
Thank you very much. Councillor Claude?
Speaker, yes, thanks. Speaker,
I raise my hand. I know I'm
I
Bonagali.
was actually before the executive when it's time. Yes, if you can recall, Speaker, sometime last year, we went through the very same thing with an organizational. Now, I'm not picking a fight here in any fashion. We listened to what the executive mayor said. We respect it largely. But we admitted last year that some communications from specifically around the MEC's comments was missing on certain processes when we follow, when we approve under macro structures and organizational structures. Now, I don't want us to go that path again. Then we realize later on, we are forcing a situation here, not taking into consideration various other comments. The Labour Forum and all those unions, they've raised their concerns here. That must be accompanied with this item. Isn't there more outstanding recommendations from either MEC or POCTA and those organizations? So I just needed to make sure that when we go in here, although it's been proposed, but I want us to make clear decisions, because this is correctly so. to enhance certain areas for a service or better service for it all, for the people. So there's my my plug in all this, Speaker.
Very much. Councillor Nance?
Yeah, thank you, Speaker. I just wanted to get a clarity from the municipal manager, because, you know, when you read here, it really does not give give a concrete substance statement on why do we need these positions, while we are unable to fill critical positions of service delivery. So I did not get him. Yes, he says this is a minor change on the org structure, and the fact that we will only hear about which task or what task will each position will entail. But I would love to get more. Why do we have to establish this unit for service delivery where?
Thank you. MM?
Thank you, Speaker. I think let me start with the latter speaker. Firstly, we're not struggling with service delivery position. All the service delivery positions that are budgeted, there is an issue of selection if there's delays. So all the positions that which council approved that are budgeted, it's a process of recruitment and selection. So this is not to take those service delivery positions that are approved and replace them by this, So these positions were discussed in the LLF. As you would recall, in Neisner, there was appointments that were made which were actually challenged by the MBC's office. So we have to do a correct process to actually take the matter to the LLF so that we get positions that must give council support. So these positions are specifically in terms of council support. But the positions at this moment have not been passed. They still need to go through that task verification process, and they come back when they are tasked, and then the other processes kicks in terms of what is the cost of each position, when is the municipality going to fund those positions, So those positions are specifically in terms of the regulation. I think the regulation is attached there. Those positions on the right-hand side of the regulations highlighted in terms of council support. In the discussion, we then said that what the executive mayor was raising, that we have to comprehensively, when we do the whole structure, then detail as to why at that point in time we would consider not to have a chief of staff and researchers and all of those positions. So that will come in the whole macro structure review. To answer the question, the documentation, remember there was a structure that was proposed which came to council. Unfortunately, council did not approve. That structure went to the office of the MEC, was done with COCTA, a company appointed by COCTA called Limpopo Consulting. That structure came to council. I am led to believe that structure was not approved because of the difference of opinion on the issue of the splitting of the one directorate. If you look at that structure and the current structure that council subsequently approved after that, that structure indicated that we've got a challenge in terms of critical areas. That's why I want to emphasize this thing, Speaker, for Councillor Plan as well. We've got a challenge of critical areas. As we are sitting on the structure that this council approved, you've got only one electrician that does street lighting. In the structure that I submitted in front of this council, I proposed, which went to LLF and was supported by the union, I was bringing to the attention of this council that we are mismatched, if I can use a simple word. So we are overpopulated in one area and underpopulated in that area. That structure was not approved. The communication from the MEC says that provide me with the following documentation, which we have provided. So the MEC did not reject the structure, said, make sure when you approve, remember that structure was tabled, then it had to go to the MEC for comment and come back for approval in council. But when it came back to council, it was not approved. And then I think the 2022 structure is approved, as I'm told, now 2022 structure. So that one was not approved. So the 2022 structure is the one that is still got a challenge because you've got one electrician that does street lights. You've got a fewer team on wastewater because that team, when they leave office at 4:30 and there's wastewater pipe breakages that they have to deal with, the same team must go and deal with that, And that is what has been said, I'm sure, to all the presidents of portfolio committees by the staff and the directors, director engineering here. So we submitted all of that information. The one letter that was outstanding from the municipality was the MEC wanted clear guidelines in terms of the rationale for the review of the structure, as well as the costing of the structure, which was the final element. So that is the communication that we have received from the office of the MEC, which I provided. So the structure that we are bringing here now, council can amend minor adjustments on the structure. There is a minor adjustment that needs to be corrected at engineering on the name title that was done wrongly. And the person went through a process, then it was clarified, but then that matter will come because there's nothing wrong exactly the structure, but the name in the position needs to be changed in terms of that approved structure. So this is a proposal for only the council support, which is in terms of that regulation. What council needs to consider when the whole macro structure comes, because then you have the full picture is which position can this council, I think Councillor Manaba was raising that matter, which of these positions that are in the guidelines and the frameworks this municipality can actually be able to accommodate and afford, because this municipality cannot compare itself with Armanas, for example, or George, for example, in terms of all of those positions. You will see on that, it does not differentiate between a grade B and a grade C and that municipality. Other mayors will have a researcher. So that is a decision that we'll have to take at that point in time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The item is closed now, and I've given everyone chance to elaborate on this matter. Can the administration please take us to the next item?
Moving to item C/1/248/09/24. Application to waive the requirements of the general notice number 3541 of 2023, upper limits of total remuneration package payable to municipal managers and managers directly accountable to municipal managers, page 72.
The item is 7. Before I give it to you, Deputy Mayor, I just want to put an apology for the Director of all Community Services, as he is, as corporate services, as he is attending a workshop in Durban, municipal, in Durban. So he's not present at the moment, so there's no need for us to say he must leave the room. Sorry. Okay. Can I also hear who are directors who are online? Because I believe that Councillor of Community Services, she also put an apology that she will be online. Director, are you there?
I am here, Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you. Director, Corporate Services? Okay. I want to make sure not here. The item is serving Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Speaker. I want to say that I am taking off the two recommendations that are in this. Let's go with that.
Councillor Blanche.
Yeah, Speaker, this was my item that I asked for just some time that we speak on this one. First thing, and I don't want us to take this to video. Because I've picked up a tendency that when you speak, it becomes the part that I want to raise here, I understand the item. I know it's not, I'm not disputing anything too far in this. Simply we go to the recommendation. The recommendations is fine. Fine there, it's all there. Blah, blah, blah. It says, if you go back to the purpose and the background. Now, I just needed to know that wouldn't it have been more specific if we title the item or in line towards the recently appointed director for remuneration in terms of a line of reporting that his salary scale be on a certain level. Now, it's the main highlight on the item speaks to as per the document that we used, right? It's fine there. Further down, we have previously written again to the MEC asking for, so which means it stands for the previous appointed directors. You get me what I'm saying? I'm just asking that, wouldn't it be better titled, the item heading, to speak directly more to the appointed officer?
Councillor Babai.
Before we get a response, I'm confused with this item. The title of the item is saying application to waive a requirement to the general notice number so and so of May 2024, upper limits of total donation package payable to municipal managers and manager directly accountable to municipal managers. I don't know whether also the municipal manager is involved in this item. Is he involved? Because again, on the recommendation, it speaks about one director. I'm just confused.
Thanks, Speaker. The item is the application for the Director of Corporate Services that has been appointed. If you look in the item, it mentions, just go down, Advocate Loliwe, the background in terms of the appointment, senior manager, special council meeting in committee on the 30th of August 2024 resolved to confirm the appointment of Advocate Loliwe as Director of Corporate Services. Now, the application is done in terms of that regulation. So the heading speaks about the regulation that has to. So I get what Councillor Terblanche is saying. We can put in the heading application for Advocate Loliwe, or put in brackets after this Advocate Loliwe, after the municipal managers, because the application is in relation to those upper limits that are applicable to senior managers. So the application is for Advocate Loliwe. The municipal manager's application was approved by the MEC as well as the non-register. Application for Director Engineering and Director Community Services was approved by the MEC as well as the National Minister, So the only positions, the positions that were vacant, we then in this item saying that we are applying for a waiver in terms of those regulations for this director, because in each appointment, a waiver is actually applied for that specific person that is appointed. You don't apply for a waiver for generally everyone. You state the application purposes for that. So that's why recommendation number 1 states that Advocate Loliwe to waive the upper limit in respect of the Director Corporate Services. But we can take that, Tanya, Director Corporate Service or Advocate Loliwe's name and put it on the top there, so that it specifies if it satisfies maybe the confusion that is there. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Any seconder?
Second speaker.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Into item C/1/9/09/24, Municipal Accounts Committee. Report on irregular expenditure incurred between 1 July 2023 and 28 February 2024, page 91.
Thank you very much. The item is serving.
Thank you, Speaker. I would like to read our recommendations. You can all read 2.1. And the Municipal Public Accounts Committee notes the attached irregular expenditure from 1st July 2023 up to 28 February 2024 to the value of 1,800,068 rand and 534.58 as per Exeter A. Point number 2. Let it be noted that irregular expenditure in the context of this report refers to spending that deviated from the newly adopted PPFA regulations of 2023. This was also due to the interpretation by most municipalities in the country to only apply price BBBEE and locally scoring to transactions above 30,000 in brackets, including VAT, which was found to be irregular and not due to knowingly or intentionally deviating from the procurement process or regulations. Point number 3. Let it be noted that compromise based on the misinterpretation has been confirmed by AG and NT to identify transactions above 2,000 rand in brackets, including VAT, and below 30,000 rand in brackets, including VAT, as irregular expenditure and submit a report to council to know the application of price BBBEE and locally scoring, which must be applied to all transactions above 2,000 rand in brackets, including VAT. Point number 4. The council write off the attached irregular expenditure transactions to the value of 1,868,534.58 cents. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Executive Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Speaker. I just want to say I accept the recommendations that has been presented in front of us of all the irregular expenditures that were from July 2023 up to 28 February 2024. I also note the fact that there are also things that we are being taken through with the things of supply that has been brought in fairness to us as the communities. I therefore accept this report.
Thank you very much. Any seconder? Mr. Olivier?
Second that.
Thank you very much. Going to the next item.
Item C, 250/09 payment of salary and benefits for chairperson of IMPAC, retrospective to date of appointment by councillor NP Kolwabi, page 100.
The item is serving. Mr. Toy Branch.
Speaker, again, we go to the recommendations. On this item again, Speaker, I'm also reminding the affected councillor here. And I'm just raising this council level because there was an opportunity to engage in before the time. Look at those recommendations, speaking from 17 November. If we can just find, before we just propose and agree, and I'm not denying anybody anything. Yes, it says subject to MEC approval, which we will send to the MEC. But on this, what we are looking here for is to pay back Councillor Kolwabi from the day she has started. And this will grow. And we all know previously, we have found that councillors, that things was acted wrongly, and then councillors found themselves 1 year later, they must pay back a lot of money due to either administrative error or this council failure to dig deep into this. If you look at our council resolution of last year, where Councillor Nel and you yourself as a speaker, Councillor Mustakwe, proposed and seconded. Let it be noted that the chairperson of MPEC is now regarded as a full-time member of council with the effect from 17 November 2023. Now, it speaks here in terms of retrospective to the thinking. Haven't we failed right at that recommendation? To say, let's apply retrospectively back to where the day change started. And I'm not against these recommendations. I'm saying I don't want a situation where a year from now, the affected councillor found herself, here comes an item, we must pay back. What is due is due. There's no fight here. Can I just make sure that today, whatever we're going to decide here, that this item doesn't have comebacks either a year or two from now?
And Mayor?
Answer your concerns. I think if we look at recommendation number 2, it does say that retrospective to the date of appointment by council subject to the MEC's approval. So we are not sitting here waiting to something that was not, like you said, is in contravention of the previous decision that was taken. Hence, we're coming back, we're making sure that there's a recommendation number 2, and then recommendation number 3 that actually mandates the municipal manager to apply in writing to the MEC to approve the payment of salaries and benefits to the chairperson. I think the recommendations is clear, Speaker, and I'm comfortable to support them. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I give you, Municipal Manager, a chance to elaborate?
No, maybe the context is needed so that we find each other on the same page. The councillor is quoting correctly in that the MPC approved the asset for the chairperson of that item was submitted. I'm not going to get involved whether this council will apply it perspective at that time. That's a decision of council. In saying so, it was the advice of the municipal manager and the legal manager to say, this council cannot take that decision at that time. So I would not say you failed because the gazette of the MEC, Alan, indicated from the date of issuing of the gazette. So there is no way that we could have advised you at that time to say that it was actually from the date of the gazette. But this item says that take note of what you said, MEC, in terms of the gazette. But as this council, we are supporting that we apply to you as MEC to actually consider all the facts that are provided here as to when the councillor started to be the chairperson of Impact. How many transactions were there? What were the value of those transactions? How much of the work that she had to deal with? And for that purpose, that work that she has already done, the MEC must consider approving that she be retrospectively. But that decision does not lie here. That is why the item is saying that it must go back to the MEC because you cannot make that decision because it's only the MEC that makes that gazette. So this item is at the request of the councillor to say gazette came at the time that I already performed this work for such period of time. I am requesting this council to actually consider the fact that I have done this work so long up until that time of the gazette that was actually approved. So this is actually now asking the MEC to take regime that fact that she has actually performed that work. Speaker.
A follow-up?
Councillor Manglaba?
Thank you, Speaker. At the risk of sounding biased or not objective, because when it comes to such items, when there's a name of a person attached to them, we fail to actually be objective, and it's natural, we're human. The item has a name of somebody I break bread with, somebody I care for. However, let me for a second debate the item without having to have a name on the item. By legislation.
Speaker, one question that I was going to ask. when an item involves a name, isn't that person supposed to recuse himself or herself? Because really, we cannot discuss and debate about the name, whereas this person is sitting as a CA.
All right.
When the item was introduced, the person was supposed to recuse herself. I think we do things in a manner that sometimes we.
It's correct.
I'm just saying it that when we deal with this issue, even if it was going to be Director Loliwe here, he had to recuse himself.
Mentioned.
Thank you very much, Councillor. I've heard you. Executive Deputy Mayor, can you please leave the room? We'll call you when the item is finished.
Thank you. Want to follow up?
Yeah, Councillor Mangaba?
Thank you, Speaker, for rescuing me because my actually resting with me as I'm about to actually unpack the item. I love the fact that in this room we have legal things that would actually confirm whether or not what I'm about to actually delve into is actually a rightful thing to say in such a space. Speaker, it is quite clear that where the full time of the MPEG chair is concerned, it is from the day of the Gazette, right? Now, we do acknowledge that the aforementioned person worked over and above prior to the day of the Gazette. But I do not think there's actually a passage in law that allows us to actually pay such a person retrospectively. We can pay that person as of the day that regulation was actually gazetted. And then now, in this point, on behalf of the ANC, I want to actually put it on record vehemently that we will be writing to the NPA about this decision. And over and above that, we'll be writing to MSc Anton Bredell to caution him on a decision to be made on this. Because ideally, it is not lawful that we actually pay retrospectively. This can only come to effect on the day of the Gazette, and that's where it stands. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much.
Follow up, Speaker. Before.
Councillor?
And after the MF touched on something, Speaker. And I actually was expecting you to seek legal advice on this. You see, we came to council after a letter has been received to condone the actions, the MAC, on a full-time appointment. I'm going back to this recommendation. When we came to council, it was already announced that they have become full-time. So when we supposed at that meeting to make mention of this, why are we now so late in the fight? And this is the situation that councillors have found themselves in before this time. I'm asking, why haven't we at that time of the meeting in December made the recommendation right there? Because when we came to council, the paper was already available. Now we're gonna let this council, the affected councillor go through all of this, knowingly that sometimes this cost can come against the person or those who are in favor of the wrongdoing. To protect the follow leader and ensure that she is protected to not find herself in difficulty going down, I want us to make double show on this item. What is due to her, I repeat, must be due to her. But let's not sell a person or councillor short because of trying to please someone. Thank you. And
Thank you very much. The item was proposed and seconded, but I will.
The item was.
It was proposed.
Was not proposed.
Only proposed.
Only
Okay.
Speaker,
And that it, Mayor?
Speaker, no, I did propose the item. I want to make it clear again. I want to make it clear once again, because I hear it now that council or whoever is presenting this item wants councils to take wrong decisions. Let me make it clear. The recommendations is clear. Council is not taking a decision to pay the impact chairperson respectively. Council is respecting the MEC's decision, therefore requesting to the office of the MEC to consider this request.
I know that.
Can we just please once again, for the sake of clarity, Speaker, I want to appeal to councillors. Let us not do that. Please, guys.
Thank you,
I-
MM.
Close to the public.
But it's not your house. No, it's not your house. You can't talk to us like this. No, but you can't talk to us like that.
We've seen these things happen and now.
I did not give you, councillors, I did not give you time to manager.
Speaker, she can't be emotional.
I want us to be.
We have a right to speak here.
No, she didn't say you mustn't speak.
Mayor now.
She didn't say you mustn't speak. She didn't say that. She didn't say that.
When you were not an executive mayor, you were firing left, right, and center. No, don't suppress us. Don't suppress
You are
us.
suppressing her.
Give you an opportunity to fire left, right, and center.
These councillors,
Suppressing us now.
can you?
For the sake of that
You are not
office.
firing.
For the sake of that.
Now suddenly you are suppressing us.
When I do clarify, Speaker, there is no wrongdoing here.
Here to speak.
There is no wrongdoing here that is going to affect a councillor that must pay back their money.
Thank you.
This recommendation is not saying this council must agree that Councillor Kolapi must get the money.
Yeah.
And then later on, she must pay back the money.
That was.
This recommendation says, go back to the MEC who has authority to issue the gazette and request him to actually apply the gazette retrospectively. Now, on the latter speaker that spoke, you all dealt with the waiver of Mr. Felix letter. That waiver and that discretion is with the national minister. So there is nothing illegal here. Alan can come after me if he wants to add. The national minister replied in the letter of Alan Felix letter because it's a waiver application. He then said that the waiver is applied retrospectively. So there is no illegality. What we are doing, we are cautioning this council to take that decision themselves because you don't have that authority. It must go to the MEC to make that decision in terms of that. So we are not, this item is not saying Councillor Kulapi must pay the money. Immediately after this, next month she pays the money and then have to pay back the money. So I just wanted to clarify that in relation to what the councillor, because the councillor, I think, is concerned about the other incident that has actually happened. So this is not the case that the councillor must be paid the money. The MEC must make a determination, comes back to council, we inform the council if the MEC agrees or the MEC does not agree in terms of that matter. As to why you did not deal with it at that time as council, I cannot, because that's for you to discuss the item. I don't know. There was a question for legal person to also comment. You can give Alan Krause to comment here.
Thank you very much, MM. On Bill, your hand was up.
Speaker.
I received, based on what I received, I'm standing down on this item.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. On Bill.
Speaker, second. To stop all speculation, I would like to propose a change recommendation to say that council requests that the item be referred to instead of council supports, or I don't know whatever the real wording is, I can't read from here. Just make a short and sweet council request that it be referred to the local government for his.
Have you check on that? Okay.
Three hands on this side.
Councillor Sethi?
Thank you very much, Speaker. I just want to get something right with the number one slogan of Plettenberg Bay. The mayor, if I had heard correctly. We are here in this council to deal with issues, to discuss items. We are not here just to tick the boxes. So we have a right to speak and express our views. I'm not sure if anybody heard me. I have applied my mind on this particular item. It says on the 17th of November 2023, it was only gazetted by the MEC Bradel, the remuneration of the MPEX person. While she started performing at the position of MPEX person on the February 2022. It means now she started before the law was gazetted by the MEC. Now, again, I don't see any law that is saying they must be paid retrospectively. I don't see, I try to find it. Where is that law? I don't say this mustn't be go through or whatever, but where is that law that say they must be paid retrospectively? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I think that's all you're asking.
The item is proposed and it is seconded.
Okay.
Can we now? The next item?
My hand was up.
Two questions of clarity, Speaker.
And administration, please take us to
Speaker,
the
just
next item.
two questions of clarity.
I've given,
Speaker, my hand was.
speech, I've given everyone chance to speak.
Clarity.
I'm not coming for second round, because everyone has got.
But my hand was up, Speaker, then you give.
Point of clarity.
My hand was up. My hand was up.
Sorry, I mistake your hand with Councillor Seti. That is why I give Councillor Seti. The item is proposed. Can you please now the next item?
1/09/24, declaration of vacancy, approval of selection and recruitment process, the filling of position of Director Planning and Development, page 1.
Item is 7. Madam Mayor.
Post Speaker.
Oh, sorry.
The item is 7 and it is proposed.
I'll second it.
Councillor Olivier, seconded.
Item C/1/252/09/24. Report on grant in aid funding approval, page 112.
Item is 7, Executive Mayor.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, I'm expecting this to be a contentious item. But the reason why we are informing council and asking council's approval for this item is because a MICO meeting was held on the 23rd of August, 2023. And in that MICO meeting, there was approvals or decisions was taken to actually grant some of the applicants the granted aid allocations. What is transpired then is that contracts were drafted and signed by some of the beneficiaries, And as a result, Speaker, my office was, when I became the executive mayor and I occupied my office, there were so many inquiries regarding this grant in aid. There were so many objections from organizations that felt they were excluded whilst they are compliant. Let me inform you, I think the item is clear that there were 65 applicants and 29 was awarded. There were 18, the ones that were excluded, there were 18 that were compliant, and we couldn't give them a straight answer as to why they were not being taken into consideration. So for the sake of fairness, Speaker, and for the sake of transparency, we therefore request the council rescind the MICO decision that was taken on the 23rd of August, and that we then, in recommendation number 3, that we'll re-advertise the grant in aid. Thank you, Speaker.
Speaker. Point of order.
Yeah.
Seconded.
Thank you very much. Councillor Atebranch.
I understand it's closed.
Yeah, I'm giving you a chance to speak.
You see, we are saying
But I am giving you a chance.
I wanted to debate. I'm not. I could have then waited and closed it, then make a fight. I'm following rules here. Some elected representative speak.
But I am giving you a chance to speak.
But I want.
What are you complaining for?
There's nothing. I wanted just to ask you, speak through you. You could have. You could have seek legal advice. Speaker, I was the executive mayor. I've seen things. What I wanted to ask here today, be honest with me, and I want, if you allow me to stand.
Yes, you can stand.
I am a person that want to be held accountable. In terms of the law, I did follow a Bitou. Tell me straight here. There it is in front of us. We did a Bitou meeting. The minute is there, there was a meeting here. Tell me, either previous executive mayor or Councillor Blanche, we have done A, B, and C. So that going forward, I know what I have done. You said now, yeah, that there's 65 applicants. Some were excluded. We all know there's a previous Councillor Swartz. There's under your office. You know how you have led us in this grant. How? You know. Once this time you called us, let me so. We discussed largely under your leadership. I've taken it from there. Now I'm being seen as I did something dodgy. You rescind for the sake of 7 versus 6 rescind. There was previous times here under the prerogative of the executive mayor that we've left people out. We've left them out. That knowingly they have qualified. Knowingly, and correct me if I'm wrong here. We have left because we said sometimes certain people deliver more services. We have increased their amounts. Hence, we've left those ones out. Now we come here to rescind a decision. I feel bad about this. It tells me I've done something wrong as the then executive mayor, which I want this council then to tell me. I must be held accountable. And if it's to the people, I must be held accountable. I'm standing to be held accountable to the people. And if I failed to give people there in terms of what the report says, I must be held accountable, Speaker. So it cannot be that we just, because we are 7-6, we come here, we say for a small report, some people were excluded based on my investigation, A, B, and C. But in that very same report, we don't even make mentioning of who those people are. The ones that have failed, we don't make mentioning of why they have failed. I'm feeling bad here because it feels like I have made a failure in this attempt to ensure that this program be successful. You have the right to help me accountable. You are the speaker, you are my boss. So that is just what I'm asking here. And I wanted to ask, hence I've written to your office. Just tell me my wrongdoings so that further down, other mayors don't do the very same. Because I'm referring to what we have led from Councillor Swart. And my absence was similar to what he has done previously, also under the grant day. And he must tell me. Here he is now. My time is not up, Speaker. Here he is now. She was an MMC of finance. Tell me where I failed this council and the people of Plettenberg Bay. But to come here and say we have found A, B, and C and just listen, knowingly we're going to vote, it's going to be 7-6. Then we outvoted. Speaker, you have a lovely PA green head one. I thank you for your love.
Thank you.
Guide me in this through you. In the rules of order, you can seek legal advice. Guide us. I want to buy that head after this. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bunch. Mr. Mangaba, I'll start with him, then we'll go down. All of you.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, I share Councillor Blanche's sentiments. And I had hoped that as I read through the item, that at least an executive summary would be, furnished with a bit of information where this is concerned to know exactly what were the gaps. So that we know what is it that we need to communicate to our people. It is said that when the wheels of power changes, that our people get to be the victims. It was brought to my attention that those who were actually listed were invited to council. The godly side of me wants to believe that shame they were here to be guided. And part of me feels as though when you look at names of NPOs, you can't really deduce who's who in the zoo. So the best way to deal with people is to actually bring them and look them in the eye so that you know who belongs to what. It's crazy how.
Exception.
It's crazy how. It's crazy how.
They were here with you.
It's crazy how.
Before time.
NPOs.
For the past, Speaker, I need you to protect me. We are in council. Officials.
Speak when spoken to.
Carry on, Councillor Manglabu.
Thank you. In the almost 3 years that I've actually sat in this council, I've seen something good in this town. We have not had riots. It means we're doing something right. My fear is that this would actually have us having to quell fires. And I'm afraid that, Lady Executive Mayor, this will be under your watch. So for me, I expected a report that details clearly what were the gaps that were missing. And then again, if we're going to go back to saying some people are complaining that they did not become part of the list of recipients, with applications that have closing dates, and then from there we need to sift and select, there's a vision attached to that. And then we cannot please everyone, unfortunately. But at the very least, we need to actually act with a good intent. And that is where I'm sitting.
Thank you, Councillor Manglaba. Councillor Mtana.
Thank you, Speaker. You know, first, the executive mayor lies. The MM called a meeting with some of the NPO. And because these people remember we are ward councillors and we know them and they know us, informed us that they were called and some were told that their documents were not complete. Though they were called by the same institution previously to come and sign whatever documents or contracts that they have been awarded what X amount on the request that they have made from the municipality. And we must understand, Executive Mayor, that this rescinding of this decision, say it, the public, it's political. It has nothing to do with what you have just said here. You are lying. It's a lie. Now, the question that I want to ask, Speaker, is that those people who came and were promised that they must come back, fix with this document and that document, why are we not then allocating the funding to those that it appears that they brought all the necessary required documentations? And in many things, on tender processes, recruitment processes, you never award to everyone. As much as there might be 3, 5, 10 people who qualify, but you will never award to everyone. So just be honest and say, politically, we think that these people that were awarded were not the right people. And I want to request that we vote on the matter, Speaker, so that we don't take a decision in the MACO meeting and then come here and pretend as if we never took that decision. We vote on the matter. So those who say that it must be rescinded, they vote. You vote us out if you want to. So I feel that I want to propose that we vote on the matter because there were contracts that were signed by the same municipality, irrespective, were the same councillors, but the same institution. Whether I'm an MMC today or tomorrow I'm not, I'm serving in the same institution. So this institution has a legal binding document with those people. But we know how people will be taken advantage of because they are not going to afford a legal recourse. That is what is happening, essentially. You see? So don't lie, Mayor. Just say it. Don't lie.
Councillor Sethi.
Thanks, Speaker, so much. I'm not going to repeat what all my colleagues have said here. But just want to highlight on something that in this granting aid, contracts have been already awarded. They've signed, decisions was taken. And I also feel that this whole thing is politically, this thing of this granting aid should be re-advertised. But my worry here is our people. Must they suffer because of our politics that we are playing now here? Fine. I'm coming now to this the recommendation number that council has seen the decision of the mayoral committee and the resolution. My question here, or can someone assist me here? Can this council rescind any decision that has been taken? Is it supposed to be court that make rescission? Thank you.
When there's a contract involved.
When there's a contract involved. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councillor High.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, everything. Just want to put my comment also on record. 1980 is not a new thing. And in history, there was no 100% when you award everyone 1980. The process that was followed by the municipality. And like the deputy mayor always say, when you don't declare interest, then you get attached to stuff like this, where we resend items. This is the community. This has nothing to do with one of the persons who was in that office or the persons on the list. The decision made by the now executive is prior to what they are attached to these things. I can put it up there. They are attached. So I just want to put on record also, let us be clear to our people. The decision that the previous executive take, you're not in favor of that and you want to do your own thing. You want to make your decision and you want to choose the people that must be awarded to that. Because now you're going to punish 5 or 6 people that complied for people that didn't comply. They didn't comply. If people have been chosen on a list, it's their luck. Or they complied for that season. You can't award anything for everyone. So now you're saying no, people comes out, say they wanted to award it. Next time the people is going to do the same thing. Bursaries, we're going to follow the same thing. When our people start appointed or get a bus, we're going to say no, go there, find out why. Then we're going to stop it again. All of this process is going to be challenged now, according to no, some people didn't make it on the list. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you.
The floor. Speaker. I raised interest in this item, Speaker. I raised interest in the item. Can I be corrected what I've asked because of my interest in the item? I've raised it. So, like I said again, can I just be then explained properly?
I hear you, Councillor. Councillor Kabay.
Thank you. Speaker, I'm worried. I might be, let me put it this way, I might be an experienced council. We are debating about granting aid here, taxpayers' monies, public money. And there's an investigation that was done here by the MEC, especially about granting aid. Because if it has been given in a manner that is unsatisfactory, then there must be an investigation, a very serious. I'm worried now that we are degrading. We are discussing granting aid. And my question is, okay, we re-advertise this granting. Is the second one going to be accepted? Will it not be flawed as the executive mayor is saying now. Over and above, we are putting politics now. And we are degrading where we are saying, here we are now. Let's put dead on those ones that were in. How it has been happening. You see, it's the trend that the DA does. When they come in, they zoom in to those that were in power. We want to see what were their flaws, forgetting about the successes that those people were doing. The DA is not alpha and omega in this council. They don't own this council. They don't own this community. Where once they are not in power, have you heard something that is talking bad or that was talking bad about the executive mayor Dave Swartz then? No, because it's not about Councillor Dave Swartz. It's about the town. Once we talk bad about this council, it goes out there. How are we going to get investments into this town? There was an incident where there were letters that were written by the executive mayor, monthly letters. You were stopped by ratepayers saying, you think you are doing good, you are hammering us because we're not getting business that is coming. Now we'll be in newspapers about granting aid. And therefore, I want to raise this, Speaker. I'm shocked. I saw this list. It was doing rounds in social media. This, when I look at this and looking at my phone, I'm like, this is the exact list that went on social media. But when we have in committee, we respect people. Now these poor people, their information is all over, as if they are corrupt people who don't have morals, and it is coming from this institution. I wonder what is then going to happen if one of these people who are very smart take us to task.
There will be one.
Where is Popia at? If then there is something that has been done that has been taken in committee, and then you will see it in social media, we're in trouble, all of us. And I can tell you now, Councillor, we are going to back to where we are when Bredel is going to investigate. It will be section 106. Because somebody is going to write about this granting aid, report it to Bredel. And I would like that whoever does it, you must write to Councillor Minister Bredel, because I can vouch now. The second one, granting aid, as it is going to be re-advertised, executive mayor, is going to be questioned. Because those that are not going to be part of that list are going to question it. So I'm trying to say we are really degrading in your leadership. We are really degrading. We are very personal. We are very patching. And that is not the things that we're supposed to do. Things that we're supposed to do is to serve the community. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Executive Mayor.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, I did say it's a contentious issue, and I see that some of my colleagues, they get very emotional about this issue that is executive mayor standing up and wanting council to tell him whether he did something wrong and all sorts of things. But let me be clear here. First of all, when we've got a granting aid policy, I'm sure we are all aware. Yes. We have a granting aid policy. Secondly, I'm sure we are all aware there's a template that the AG expects of us to follow to allocate granting aid. Part of those is the verification process. And let me be clear. The reason why you, Councillor Mslana, have heard that people have been called to this council was an attempt of us to follow through on the verification process. Because we cannot skip processes, guys. I don't know what decision was taken to have a MACO meeting. Because even in our granting aid policy, there's no way that it states that we need to take a MACO meeting. We have to have a MACO meeting to implement granting aid. So yes, it is quite the first time that the granting aid is out in the public. But why? Because some people decided to have a MACO meeting. The same annexures that you are complaining about now is in the MACO agenda. So let me be clear. Let's not play politics here. Let me be clear. This is about the process. This is about the fact that we've got a granting aid policy. This is about the fact that we have to do verifications in line with what is expected of us. Yes, I did mention that some people were excluded even though they were compliant. And let me also mention, if you look at that annexure, even the ones where people were approved, you will see there's outstanding documents.
Speaker, or to follow up?
So, Speaker,
No.
there was a proposal that we vote. So I will request, let's then go over to a vote.
Follow up, Speaker.
Thank you very much.
Sorry.
Deputy Mayor.
When my hand was out was just to say really, let's vote. And also I'm surprised to know that at some stage, people will be called that they are lying in this committee, whereas people, they know for a fact when they sat overnight doing these allocations, they were the ones that they were the liars in this society. And two, I want this council to note that all of a sudden now there are strikes and everything that are being promised or being threatened about when we talk about things. So let to Mark Speaker, if there's any strike that is coming to this council and destroy people are being misled, we must know that the same people in this council, they are bringing that. And I don't understand why all of a sudden other people are not trusted and the allegations it's about, it's politically. Whereas they know that they've never even vetted nothing when it comes to those allocations that were there. Give me a reason. Why should a person was not allocated to be even listed in that list and being given a brief explanation that this one was awarded on a certain time for this? Where are the excuses of the other 30-some odd that they were not allocated? What was even the reason of doing so, other than it was, again, an intention, a misleading intention that was happening. So let people not play as if that they are innocent. They know for a fact what they were doing here. Even the people that they were allocating this whole thing, they know there's a verification. I love Mr. Tsapai when Councillor Tsapai says that there was an audited thing here that went to section 106. Let us bring it on, even that one, to this list. We can even bring it on to section 106 on that one so that people can see what they were up to. You understand what I'm saying? There was never an NPC that were firstly allocated when we asked for this. So NPC doesn't get money from public funds. But even now, Councillor Blanche made it specifically in his office to call for NPCs. And you could see that it's a sudden NPCs. The others are getting from ECD, but the others are still getting on standalone. They know exactly what they do. They should not act here that they are perfect and clean. It's only that he wants us to speak. You know for a fact what you did. Speaker, can we? No. No.
Councillors,
I'm speaking now. We gave you a chance to speak.
This side was clear.
Chance to speak. No.
We gave you enough time to speak and no one was interrupting you.
Even hands, we didn't even lift up hands when you were speaking. All of you, you speak as you wish. Speaker, I'm asking, let us place on record this. Let's vote for this matter because they are counteracting. Thank you.
Point of order, Speaker, just. Speaker, I would love that when a councillor speaks, direct it to you. let's not really be confrontational. Whatever the debate is, whether it's high or low, everything must be directed to me.
Thank you, Councillor Agbabai. I like that it is coming from you because it started on your side. When they were speaking, they were arguing with the executive mayor. They are not directing to me. Thank you very much that even how they listen that. Because it started on your side. MM?
I said and, at some point I would want you to guide me exactly on the point that Councillor Agbabai is raising. When something is said and is directed to me as a respond to the council meeting and defend not only a misstatement, but a deliberate statement that is put in the Now, Councillor Mshana is the meeting was here. But what is incorrect is what Councillor Manhaba is saying. That because those NPOs, we don't know them, where to call them and look at their face in order. I take that exception because I called them. What we intended to do then was to do a rectification. That was what the executive mayor said. Try and see this short document, because these people have contracts already. Can't you rectify this? What has then happened subsequent to that meeting? It's in the report. I received a report from the manager expenditure who must process payment to say that if I process this payment, we're going to go back to that investigation that Councillor Agbabai is referring to. And then he then says to me, there is additional people with contracts but are not in the list of this 29. Then I said, Executive Mayor, this is a situation in terms of this, There were various options that were looked at in consultation with the corporate services to say, proceed and pay those that comply and pay them. But then the executive mayor explained the decision. The granting aid is in the office of the executive mayor about those ones that were excluded, what were not compliant. So I'm not getting into that. But what I wanted to explain, that meeting that we called everyone, we called, I think it was 15 of a second, we called, it was correct. 20. We then wanted to sort the few issues. There's only one organization which we told that they totally did not qualify, they were not qualifying. I don't want to be unfair now because it's in my minutes. Those minutes can be, I think they have provided to raise the issues here because, but I ask all of them here, we want us to discuss the matters openly for each and every one so that everyone knows why this one is not qualifying, why we're saying this one. And there were 3 that we said, we were not supposed to be there, you were called by error, and then they said they were going to see. There was one which we clarified that issue, they went back to address it. I think they've called a meeting for us with all ECDs because they are saying they are representing the ECDs as an umbrella board, but all the ECDs have directly applied and they're saying we don't have an umbrella board that represent us. So we then got that information and then we said, let's have a meeting with you and the ECDs. We correct this matter, we understand. So correctly so, they were formed, I think, recently, and we were not questioning when they were formed. It's not my discretion to question when they were formed or when they should be formed. But we were saying, in terms of our police, what they submitted, Councillor Toyo Speaker in their business plan was matters that required them to be registered with the Department of Social Development. You will remember now in the Act, if you are dealing with early childhood development, you must also be registered, So those were the issues that we clarified with them in terms of that meeting, So they left the meeting. I only have one objection on that meeting we had. Only one person objected, and the objection is on the basis that we may consider not giving the original 50,000, but rather a 30,000 to accommodate everyone. That's the only objection we received in writing from the people. So I just wanted to clarify that where the matter is now is that expenditure saying if we proceed and pay this, then we're risking the issue of irregular expenditure. So the decision is for council, how they deal with the matter, whether to re-advertise and all of that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ompia.
Speaker, this matter has now been deliberated by everyone. I think for most of us already have had 2 opportunities to address council. I'm for the.
Thank you very much. Councillors, can we all now go? I will start with all that are saying, let us re-advertise the granting aid.
A legal opinion.
All those saying re-advertise.
Contracts that are signed.
All the,
I want to able to say because the councillor is speaking in between. I want to try and listen to you.
I am saying, councillors, they are now, it is time now to vote because I've given all 13 councillors to speak on this matter. So I am going now to a vote. All those are saying that we must re-advertise. Hands up, please.
Is your hands up for the options?
We're intimidating him now. Because he made it clear that he wasn't going to vote. Intimidation.
Thank you very much. All those are saying it must not be re-advertised. Hands up, please.
I wouldn't
I like your hand.
Thank you very much.
Nothing else.
Can the administration please give us the numbers?
Madam Chair,
Quiet, please, councillors. We are listening now to the numbers that are coming through.
Mayor's a liar. I go, how long so?
Deputy Mayor, can we please be quiet?
Is intimidating me here now, Speaker.
Yeah, I'm protecting you, Councillor Mhlana.
Madam Speaker, in favor of advertising and re-advertising ground A is 7, and not in favor of re-advertising on ground A is 6.
Thank you very much. We are moving to the next item. Can the administration please take us through?
Speaker,
Councillor?
it must be noted that in both items, there was no legal comments on the document at all. And when I asked for legal advice, it was not granted.
Thank you. Thank you, Councillor.
Thank you.
Next item, please.
We move Section 2, there is no items for consideration. Section 3, corporate services, item C/3/238/09/24, nomination of councillors to serve on clinic committees, page 121.
Item 7. Councillor Claude, third branch.
Speaker, thank you. I want to know who's going to lead on this. I don't want to, maybe the executive mayor has already lists or is it, are we going to follow like a ward councillor per? For my understanding, but I was just want clarity, maybe you have already, or you want to announce it, but you are commenting.
Speaker, I
belong to.
Really, Speaker, I don't understand why this came here.
Council.
Because there are wards, and those wards have councillors, ward councillor. The easiest way was to say, councillor come, is incorrect.
Yeah.
Why are we bringing it here?
Because it's an
committee in clinics.
Has to be an official.
Yeah.
Executive Mayor.
No, it's not the first time this item is coming to pass. I totally agree with Councillor Tabla. It's not the first time. We normally do it when the clinic committees fall away and they are busy in the process of establishing the new clinic committees, Councillor. I totally agree with you. They're supposed to be the names of the ward councillors, because that's not the norm that we know.
But why it is coming here?
No, it's not the first time. It's not the first time. When the clinics committee, when the clinics.
We're wasting our time.
When the clinic committee.
Oh, we're wasting our time. No, you're wasting our time. No, when you are a councillor. I can't be.
Can you please question to speak on the agenda? Please, Councillor Kabai, you are the one calling us to order here. Please, for your own advice. For your own advice.
I was a speaker then.
Now, for your own advice.
I want to be like Superman.
MM. All right, councillors.
We're out here, like speaking. Now you want to be prepared now.
Just Speaker was says.
No, I'm telling you, it's not an item that was brought by them.
I mentioned it.
Yes.
So you have voted now, 5 minutes ago, discipline, but you are starting now to.
Thanks, Speaker.
No, we must correct people who think they are super.
Services.
No.
And he explained that the review is done every time when that time arrives. And in the past, this council dealt with the appointment because as administration, we cannot just appoint councillors in this community. So that's why the item is here. It must be councillors. We know there's one councillor, but we don't have authority to just say, councillor of what one is you. It cannot be us that decide. So that is why the Director of Corporate Services engaged me in terms of bringing this item now so that the matter is actually dealt with. So that is, but if you want to delegate that to us, you can say now, we will gladly make those one councillors, and then you can just say delegate to us. But we don't want to take that delegation without that delegation. Thanks.
Yeah, no, since I'm sharing a clinic with Councillor Swartz.
Exactly.
I will nominate him to be on that committee. If I'm asked, I will always consult him.
Exactly. Exactly, because there's no clinic anymore.
No.
I still want to know Iguana because we know Iguana for 2 months. So I wanted to know.
Allow me to assist you there, Speaker.
My hand just up.
Okay. Let's allow the lady to speak first. I'll talk after her.
Thank you. I was already having a question, because of that Deputy Mayor said. When I'm checking into these clinics, 1, 2, 3, 4, you will always see people from cracks going to Kwano, people from Kolweni, people from New Horizon, they go to and they're allowed to go there. So my question is that, how are we going to do, even our people from Kwano, they have to go to this town clinic. So how are we going to do this? But in that manner, on that point, I was going to nominate Councillor Mangaba to Konokto, since we're sharing one clinic.
Thank you.
Well, Speaker, I was just about to alert the council that I have an ex-official status there, be it nominated or not. However, I was going to actually nominate my colleague here. However, if then she's unavailable to do it, then I can do it because I've been sitting in that as an ex-official member since I came to council.
Thank you very much. Executive Mayor.
Thank you, Speaker. Same here. I've been serving on the clinic committee board. That's why I know the applications came out, and as a reason of that, they are re-establishing, and that's why we must do the nominations. So I've been serving on the CREX clinic committee, and I will be serving on the CREX committee, clinic committee again.
We are nominating yourself.
No, I have to.
Thank you very much. Were you going to give us names or what?
No, I was just, I was going to nominate Councillor City. I think I do support that lady, that she also add there. Because if one of clinic, it's for 2 hours exactly, and there's a lot of question things that is happening there. And now that she also plays, but other even areas, they do prefer to use the one clinic. So it would be beautiful if both of them are there as well. The Councillor Mangaba is also suggested.
Thank you very much. We are left now with Kransuk and the New Horizon. Councillor Annelies.
Can we repeat? Sorry, can we repeat? Oh,
It just,
Tanya, you got it right. So
I just want to maybe,
We are now all saying this one and that one and that one. Why don't we say that councillors that are living in the ward councillors will be representative on.
I think
We need to say it in instead of supporting me.
every time I.
We're wasting our time here.
remember already advised us on that one, Councillor. Thank you, ne?
Once you are a ward councillor, you will be a ward councillor in that ward. Simple.
It is Councillor
Blanche.
Blanche. And then Kwanokula is Councillor Seti and Councillor Bangaba. Sorry?
So should we add to Councillor Valamsa?
Nominate Councillor follow up before the mobile thing.
And then Ekrex is the executive mayor, and then Kranzok is Councillor Annelies Oliver. Thank you very much.
It was for Councillor Kapai, Ekranzok.
No, I'm not the one council.
Yes.
You see,
It's split like.
it's in like, and when there's trouble there, then that must attend.
They've already done that. They are already doing that. They put you on the disappoint.
That's a waste of time.
The meeting? Administration? There was minutes that was not read of the 23 of August, 2024. Can we go back to those minutes? Okay, a proposal and a second. Madam Mayor and
I've never proposed no second.
can I please have a second on the clinic delegates?
Recommend that one.
On bill, seconded. Thank you very much.
People propose. We recommend less. Danton. That's the color of the 8.
Huh?
Oh, so
The meeting, I'm gonna be the meeting at 2. Okay.
Councillors, Councillor Koloapi, Councillor Msana, Councillor Tapai, please behave. We are adults here.
Okay. Going to propose caucus now.
How I am so spiteful.
Councillor Koloapi, please behave. There's no need to answer. If Councillor Tapai wants a caucus for 10 hours, it is fine. It's no need for you to answer that. Can we please now go back to the screen? We have our minutes.
Yes. Oh, my speaker.
Apologies for omitting to include this in the agenda. Under 5.3, minutes of special council meeting dated 23 August 2024. Starting on page 1. And then there's page 2. And in attendance registers 3, 4, and 5. That concludes the set of minutes, Madam Chair, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. The item 7. Slamsana.
Speaker, I want to confirm the minutes as a true reflection.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you, Councillor.
There was
Bye-bye.
lenient.
There had to be a minute.
Otherwise, all of you should go to Dr.
Speaker. Can we nomination? Section. There's no, yeah.
The doctor to get the medical certificate.
Stated why you can't come, but it can't be called.
By me.
I said he can't be called. The majority cannot be called by money.
Can we have one meeting?
No. As in now, this one.
And the live meeting.
Can we please proceed with the meeting? I don't know how I must speak to you people, because every time the one speaks and the one answer, it is not no need for that.
Respectful towards
The pecs of being speak.
the DMS must.
We are moving now to item number 12, which is consideration of notice of motions, none received. Number 13, consideration of notices of questions, none received. Number 14 is consideration of motions of exigency, none received. Councillor Mhlana.
Yeah, thank you, Speaker. Through you, I want to table in this special council meeting a motion of exigency in terms of Rule 42 of the council's rules of order. Speaker, Speaker, I, Councillor Tembela Mhlana, hereby move a motion of exigence in terms of the provisions of Rule 42. It has come to our attention that the acting municipal manager appointed Mr. Alan Paulse to act on the position of senior manager governance and compliance without following due process. The acting municipal manager understands the very policy and legislative prescripts of which he is supposed to be the custodian. The acting policy of the council read with the municipal staff regulations prescribes that the process pertaining to the acting appointments regulations 282 provides that unless indicated otherwise in the appointment of the acting post, a staff member of the municipality who is acting in a higher post in the same municipality must continue to perform the duties of the post that the staff member ordinarily occupies during the acting period. From the aforesaid, it is clear that Mr. Felix must continue performing his duties of the post he ordinarily occupies, which is the position of senior manager governance and compliance. Now the question is, in terms of what provision of the law or authority was Mr. Alan Paulse appointed in the position that Mr. Lotter ordinarily occupies? So, Speaker, I also want to propose recommendations in this regard, that the acting appointment of Mr. Alan Paulse in the position of senior manager governance and compliance be terminated forthwith, that Mr. Felix Lotter be instructed to perform his duties as a senior manager governance and compliance over and above duties of the CF. That the acting municipal manager, that this conduct be investigated regarding the unlawful appointment of Mr. Alan Paulse in the position of senior manager governance and compliance, and that any expenditure incurred with the appointment of Mr. Alan Paulse be recovered. I move, Councillor Mhlana.
Seconded, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor Mhlana. Deputy Mayor.
According to the motion of exigency that has been voted by the non-matter. So thank you, I think, until if you can vote.
No, that's not the process.
What? No, it's fine. That's supposed to be seconded.
Speaker, please school our colleagues in terms of procedure.
Thank you very much. Councillor Ompio.
The councillor will be. It is a motion of exigency, and if the motion of exigency is carried by a majority, then it must be investigated. However, we have not voted on it, so we've got to determine that majority or not. Therefore, I propose we take a vote.
Thank you very much.
No. There's only one speaker. Speaker is about speaker. Speaker. Sorry.
Councillors, there was a motion placed.
Sorry. Speaker, that's one correction, because the matter is about me, so I should not be responding. But there was one correction which needs to be made of the council. We're not dealing with the section 56 employee here. So the councillor, that recommendation that he made, that termination must be done cannot be, correct. That it can refer the matter to be addressed if because I'm implicated or I'm affected to rather direct the corporate service to deal with it, because not dealing with appointments of managers or officials below section 57. But the other matters, I thought that matter would have been given to me to respond in writing, but would follow the process now. It's fine.
Thank you very much. Can we all go for a vote? If those who are in support
of that motion of exigence.
Yeah. Bottom line is on record.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Those who are not in support,
Small, we must do our part.
Exactly.
We're not gonna feel.
thank you very much. Can the administration please give us the outcomes of the vote?
Flana, it was 6, and against the recommendations of Councillor Flana is 7. So therefore, the vote against carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And now we are moving to item number 15, which is in committee matters. And can we please now excuse the officials present so that we can go into in committee? And can we please take a 5-minute break?
I was just about to suggest, you're reading my mind. I'm coffee in my life.
So 2 minutes past 4, we are coming back.
Yeah, we killed our work day.
Come and